They think, oh, I'm broken, I have this trauma. My man is gonna fix me, or my woman's gonna fix me. No way.
They speak to their friends, and their friends are like, oh, my husband did this, and they're thinking, oh my gosh, why is my husband not doing it? It comes at a cost where marriages are ending because of this high expectations.
As men, you guys have to also implement your own boundaries, and you shouldn't feel bad for doing that.
Most of the time, these women don't work and they don't have their own income coming in, and they're completely reliant on their husband, and he knows this, and he uses this as a leverage over her.
Yeah.
The point.
And his money's your money. Yeah. So if he's
that doesn't stand. That
When they finally break up and they leave each other, they're not co-parenting. They want, I'm having a child today. No, you're not. Yeah, you're doing this. No, you're not.
And I know a lot of brothers said, oh, you know what? Women say that they want these things, but realistically they don't. Are women actually practicing these things for them to attract that kind of man?
And to the guys out there, you need to do the healing. To the girls out there, you need to do the healing. A Gucci bag is not going to heal that.
Exactly.
Nice shoes are not going to heal that.
Never.
public dates. First thing they ask me is how much do you earn? What's your job? But in a nicer way, right? They ask me how much are you earning and stuff. Not if I'm practicing.
Yeah, some men believe that, me doing the bare minimum, and the bare minimum means provide, protect, and that's it. No affection, no love, no mercy, no nothing.
that if two parents are not happy, it's more detrimental to the
kids.
children.
Well, but do I not buy you clothes? Look at the tone. Not, hey, I buy you clothes, I own you. No.
course, the
But do I
tone
not buy you
makes a
clothes,
difference.
but do I not work hard for our family? I'm saving up for a holiday. Does that apply to that man?
No, it doesn't.
Thank you.
If
it
it's a
doesn't.
simple reminder, then that's
Yeah.
fine.
No,
But if it's a
definition.
constant thing,
Context
Yeah.
is
And
important.
then he's trying to clear it.
IslamNet is raising funds to establish a masjid and community center in Norway, and they urgently need your support. This donation will be a sadaqah jariyah for you, because every person that comes a step closer to Allah through your donation, you will inshallah be reaping the reward. Click the link and donate what you can.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters and dear friends. Welcome to another episode of the Bitter Truth Show. And we are here, as you guys know, talking about a variety of topics that is pertaining to the breakdown of the family unit, and also different aspects of different topics that will inshallah benefit you guys at home. Our aim is to preserve the marital unit. It doesn't attack left, right, center. And we just want to understand opposite gender better, and vice versa for them, inshallah. Me personally, I learned so many things on the show from our sisters, and I incorporate it into my life with my wife. And I learn a lot. Wallah, it helps me, it helps my marriage. And I hope so that same is with you guys who are watching at home, inshallah. And yes, before I start, I want to praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most merciful, the most just. All praises, glory and gratitude belong to Him. Guys, you have the bitter buzzers, make the most out of it. Nobody's really used it today. But if you have to use it, it's a buzzer. If you disagree with one of the sisters, or sisters disagree with the sisters, or the brothers disagree with the brothers, then you have 1.5 minutes and you can talk, nobody can interrupt you. Let's not backbite, slander, we know anyways. And that's it. Yes, today's topic is a very interesting one. I personally believe it's going to be 25 episodes. This is the first one. It's what women want in a man. Yes, we are going to be here probably for quite a bit of time. Probably we will leave and they will carry on talking. I'm joking. So in a nutshell, our honourable sisters are here. May Allah bless and preserve them, inshallah. Some of them came from Manchester. Sister Parvina. Yep, that's your name. So you came from Manchester. Sister Hafsa. May Allah bless, inshallah. We're in London. She's from London. Sister Halima from Manchester.
Yeah.
And Sister Amira, she's a regular. May Allah bless her. She has great inputs. Alhamdulillah, sometimes she does get a bit angry, but she has good intentions. May Allah bless her, inshallah. This time today, she didn't come with her husband. Please come next time. I miss you, Aki, my buddy. And we've got Mike. May Allah bless him, inshallah. And we've got brother Anas. Anas is actually, may Allah bless him. This Bitter Truth show, it happens. One of the reasons is because of him. May Allah bless him, and he's got so much input he would put, inshallah. And he's one thing I love about him is his akhlaq, his usloob. He talks less, unlike me, I talk too much. But may Allah bless him, inshallah, for the efforts that he puts. And we've got brother Mahdi, who's new, inshallah. May Allah bless him. Gonna get you married soon, don't worry. So brother Anas as well. Sisters, if you're wallies, please get in contact to thebittertruth@gmail.com. Why not, Aki? It's a halal, alhamdulillah. We're promoting halal here, innit? So let's go to the sisters. Sisters, what do you guys want in a man? We know you have a big list. If you can drop it down to 3, it'll be very appreciated. Other than that, the floor is you guys. Let's start with, who would like to start first? Go on, sister, inshallah. Tell us, what does a woman, or what do you personally look for in a husband or a man?
So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُم مَّوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِقَوْمٍ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. I don't like to look at this from a black and white perspective. I believe that I don't have the right to speak for all women, but personally, I think that safety is key. Safety is very, very important. I want to be able to feel safe around my partner, to feel authentic, to feel that I'm able to be myself, that I don't have to tiptoe around him. Just no physical harm, no abuse. I think that is key with any kind of relationship, even with anyone, whether it's my dad, brother, and so on. I would say the second thing is free will. I would appreciate if my husband understands and he's aware of the law, which is had al-hurriya, which is free will, which means that I am a free woman, imra'a hurra, who has rights, who is a servant of Allah, and not basically a receipt or like my own. And who understands the spiritual contract, which is a mithaq ghalid between one another. The third thing would be that he has a leadership personality. So he takes the lead, he's masculine, he's a provider, he's wise, he's patient, someone that I can be in a team with. So it's not a tug of war, like the Qur'an says, يُفَرِّقُ بَيْنَ الْمَرْءِ وَزَوْجِهِ. The whole reason why men and women have this tug of war is because shaitan is not allowing us to be in that paradise. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَقُلْنَا يَا آدَمْ اسْكُنْ أَنْتَ وَزَوْجُكَ الْجَنَّةِ. So we need to actually implement and practice what it's like to live paradise on earth so that inshallah we can take it to the akhirah. Fourth would be obviously respect. So he's very respectful within his communication. He respects my boundaries, respects my dreams and ambitions. So he respects my dreams and ambitions, and respects my family, respects me. We can have an honest and open discussion. And I would say a grateful man. I think a man who's grateful will never ever be poor in his life. Allah says, وَلَئِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. And all the messengers, for them to have reached the level of prophecy, Allah says, كَانَ عَبْدًا شَكُورًا, كَانَ عَبْدًا شَكُورًا. And the opposite of shukr is kufr. So if he's someone who does kufr al-ashir or doesn't appreciate what I do, and all of that, I think that kind of can throw him off as being someone ungrateful, and that can give him a kind of a poor mindset. But this doesn't mean that I'm expecting all of these things and I'm not going to do anything. It has to be mutual. I have to reflect that. So everything that I've said, I have to be respectful. I have to also give him his free will. If he wants to get married, I give him the right. If he wants to, for example, say, I'm going to do this, and it's all about compromise at the end of the day. And I think one important thing as well is he doesn't have a high ego. So he doesn't discriminate women, doesn't look down on women, finds it very, very easy to say that I'm sorry. You know what? I was wrong in that. I apologize. And we can have that kind of ihtiram. And Rasulullah said, and yeah, I think that's, I would say, the basics and the foundations and their core values. Like, these things are non-negotiable. I think anyone, whatever race, whatever gender, whatever age you are, this is something that you practice. And looking at back all the topics you lot spoke about earlier, I think if people focus on core values, that's the main thing. Like, that's the fundamental. And then you can build off that foundation. And then after it comes, obviously, compatibility, comes intimacy, and comes like chemistry and all of that, which is, I would say, like the icing on the cake. But yeah.
Inshallah, perfect. Okay, Sister Praveen, what would you say a woman looks for in a man, or yourself personally, or your friends, the people that, what's the general discussion at hand? Like, what's this saying that's lacking in these men?
Okay, so like Hafsa said, I'm not speaking for every woman out there, because every woman is different. We're different. Let me emphasize, we're different. We all have different needs. But personally, for me, being is number one. If you're a man of God, you'll do everything else right. If you're not a man of God, you're not going to do anything right. So that means respect everything on that line. And then next is you have to be a leader. And what I mean by that is provide, protect. That's all I want. And then because I'm someone who's quite ambitious, that I have ambitious goals that aligns with my deen. I need a guy who also does that, who is not only like, you can pray, you can do all of that, but I want you to have a higher goal that is an act of worship once you live through it and you earn your risk through it. And lastly, I just want you to love me and care about me and give me your time and attention. That's it. That's all I want.
MashaAllah. Okay, Sister Halima.
It's like she read my mind.
MashaAllah. I think she read every woman's mind.
You know, she said it in order as well. You know, God-fearing, leadership, and loving. I don't care about anything else. Like, this is just...
MashaAllah. That's just,
That's the fairy tale side of things. I'm joking. No, it's true. Like, I do agree with a lot of what they said, especially Hafsa. Like, you described it so beautifully. For me, I think it's important for a man to have discipline. Discipline then leaks into your faith, you know, having the ability to lead the children to prayer, you know, lead myself also to remembering Allah. But for me, it's more than just the little surface things that they said. Like, for me, I do want romance. I want my husband to be able to show that romantic side to him. You know, I like spontaneousness, like, let's go out, let's go. Yeah, spontaneity. I never say that word properly. You know, I do like to be, you know, wine and dined, not with the wine because we're Muslim, but I do like that experience. I'm not going to sit here and act like, you know, oh, I just want to be praying with my husband. That's lies. I know a lot of women that will say, oh, I want him to be in the deen. Yes, we do. We know that. That's the basics. Don't marry me if you don't have that. Okay. But, you know, we as women, we do like to go. We like to be wined and dined. We like gifts here and there. I like flowers. I want you to do the sunnahs with me, like the romantic sunnahs with me that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ used to do. I like those things, you know. I want my husband to be able to exhibit strength, you know, and be able to motivate me as well. Like, not to just, I don't know, for me anyway, personally, I don't like mediocrity. I don't like to live a mediocre life. I like to have fun. I like to be reminded to be healthy. You know, I'm in that position myself where I've just had a baby or whatever, and I want to get back into shape. I want my husband to be able to motivate me to do these things. You know, I want my husband to be able to defend me if needs be. And to be honest, I'm a bit of a hothead myself. I would defend my husband if somebody comes crazy to my husband. I'm going to defend my husband as well. You know, just that ride or die mentality. I'm here for my husband and I want him to be here for me as well. So yeah, I do love the deen and everything, but I think that's a given when you marry somebody. I think that should be really taken into consideration before you marry somebody. You know,
Can I say something?
You can't just be
Can I say
someone who's not praying. Yeah.
You know what I've noticed whilst you're speaking, because I'm just listening to understand you. Everything you're actually saying falls into those categories. Think about it.
Yeah,
leadership,
absolutely.
deen, love, like romance. It could be every form of love there is. Because people have different love languages.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said for me personally, like that's what I like. Like, I want that. I want.
See, but you know why I say women are different?
Because
you said different things.
Yeah, it's true. But
okay, interesting. I know if I let you guys carry on, you're going to be here for a long time.
Can I just say,
yes,
I want to experience this with my husband. So I want this in a husband, right? He wants to like not rent, but own a boat with me and just go like out to the sea for a couple of months.
No,
I want to do that.
Mashallah, no, why?
Very nice.
Why not? Why not? It's you know what it is. It's
That's like you were saying about.
Until you get seasick.
Yeah. No, inshallah, may Allah grant you a Jannah and may Allah grant you a husband who owns a boat, inshallah. Why not? Yeah, no, but
If not, I'll get it myself and I'll find it.
No, he should buy it for your sister. This is Islam is a protector and provider, so he needs to make sure we're looking for any brothers outside, inshallah.
Yacht.
If you have a boat, inshallah, you got before that though, inshallah. You know, Nuh alayhi salam, he built a boat as well. But inshallah, they have the taqwa of Nuh alayhi salam, inshallah. You know,
Beautiful.
yes. So interesting, but that's very good. That's very good. It's very interesting. But the point is this: do you not agree? I don't know, brothers. Tell me. Do you not think sometimes sisters say things they want, but they do not want that? Like sometimes I feel like sisters say like, I want this.
Can you give an example?
For example, I want a man that will wake me up for Fajr. I want a man that is on the deen, etc. Deep down, they don't really. It's not that deep for them. They want the dunya. So, I'm just putting it out there. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying. Please correct me. And brothers, would you agree that sometimes sisters come with like, yeah, I want this, I want that. But deep down,
maybe from what they see on TV or like
that's
on
what
a
I'm
phone.
saying. Because in today's time,
but what I will say now that I've got the chance to speak, because I don't know how many chances I'm going to have on this one, but all of what you had to say was very realistic. Like I can't actually argue with any of it.
I'd agree with it completely.
One of the big things is spontaneity. One thing I've actually realized is that ladies love spontaneity because it's like they like a surprise. They're like, okay, we're going out here. Oh, yeah, and they want to go. That's just something I've realized that they really like. So spontaneity, big one.
Get a bit boring after a while.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
And they just think it's okay to just sit at.
That's what I'm saying. For men, yeah, I think because men work and they're used to a mundane life, they're not thinking about how their wife is feeling because they're used to a mundane life. They're okay with it. They're working. So like they're not thinking about what's going on with their wife, and then they're surprised, like darling, I'm bored. And it's like, what do you mean you're bored? Like I'm earning money in this. Yeah, but I'm bored. So spontaneity and the romance, is all throughout the relationship. I'm not old enough to know like the wisdom behind very successful marriages, but I'd say that's a big thing is spontaneity, 100%.
I think everything that you guys said is correct. Like ideally, that's what you'd want in a partner, right? Ideally, that's the person I'd want to be too in general. But I think the expectation for our generation is too high. I'll be honest with you. I'm not even a single man that could do what you guys want. I think the expectation is too high. I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
No, let me be clear. Sorry, go on.
I'm finished.
Yeah, let me be clear. Yeah. So when I say spontaneity, that doesn't have to cost anything, and that's what men. So when you see how you've translated that as women, when we're like, we just want your time, that could be a walk by the canal. That could be a walk, near the London Eye. It doesn't have to cost. And that's what men think, okay, there are some women out there who do not live or do not want to live within their means, and they look at social media and then they want that and above. I don't know what else they want, but yeah, I agree with you that that's why communication is key.
I think, it's good points what you said, but I think more often than not, just from personal experience, women are more materialistic than men, right? So I'll be honest, when I've gone on when I've spoken to women or whatever, gone on these public dates, first thing they ask me is how much do you earn, what's your job? But in a nicer way, right? They ask me how much are you earning and stuff. Not if I'm practicing. So I think.
Why do they ask you that?
Say again?
Why do they ask you that?
Because we're on a date.
No, because if you get her pregnant.
Yeah. So you're saying they're saying it from a safety perspective.
It's true.
It's a stability thing.
It's true. Women they tend to look for that. You're right, but this is
hidden. It's a stability.
It goes back to your hypergamous nature. As a woman, you look for a man who is stronger, fitter, who earns more, who knows more than you, who's a leader. So
6 foot plus.
Because No, you're right. No, it's true. But today's woman, tell us if we're wrong. Yeah, today's women are not thinking about if I have a child. They're talking about your luxury. What luxury lifestyle you're going to give to me? And the thing is, we talked about spontaneity.
Spontaneity.
We need hijab in the building. Yeah. Okay. Let's slobber the gullions. Yeah. Anyways, so the point here is this, is that you said it doesn't come at a cost. You're right, it doesn't come at a cost. For example, to be spontaneous, I try to incorporate that in my marriage as well. And by the way, give a disclaimer before people think Ali and his marriage is so amazing. Me and my wife have fights. Trust me, it's a drive-by. Yeah, trust me, you need to dodge bullets. Yeah, no. You know, I have to say this because I don't want to give a false reality of people think like my marriage. Look, my marriage ups and downs, bro. Sometimes it's a mad thing, bro. But it's a part of marriage. That's the reason why I have to tell you guys the downs so I can tell you the highs. So sometimes, yes, like spontaneous thing. Boom, we're gonna go here. She doesn't even know. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's good. It can be done. I'll try my best to do it to the best of my ability. But it can come at a cost. How? There are women who are ending their marriages because I don't feel something in my stomach. What the flipping hell does that mean?
Butterflies.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
There's
butterflies.
something missing. So when we talk about it comes at cost because sisters have this high expectations. They don't even know what exactly it is. They speak to their friends and their friends are like, oh, my husband did this. And they're thinking, oh my gosh, why is my husband not doing it? It comes at a cost where marriages are ending because of these high expectations. Would you not agree that these realities, because imagine you have a husband who's not spontaneous. It's just the guy's just not spontaneous. There are women who end marriages because of this.
Yeah, but this is why I think being humble is very important. Expect to die tomorrow. That's a fact. You don't know you're going to be here for tomorrow, right? So I feel like being humble should be the baseline. Like, you shouldn't over expect. And I think it's kind of selfish as well if you are putting that pressure on your husband, like, I want to go to the moon next week, you know, and you have to take me there. Like, come on.
How as men, how would we tell our wives you need to stay, like, you need to not stay humble, sorry, you need to be more humble? How can we tell you politely?
You know, one thing I would say is, number one thing, that we women, we listen to words, we're like hyper focused. It doesn't matter about anything else. We're hyper focused on what you say and how you say it. So let's say you're saying that, but don't ever accuse her. Don't ever say you this and you that. Instead, you should say, like, I feel like, what was your point?
To be humble.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
No,
How can you politely tell your wife your wife you should be more humble more often?
Okay, so first you need to.
Single, can you stop comparing me to other men and stop making me feel as if I'm not good enough?
On TikTok.
Oh, why don't you do this? Oh, why don't you do that? This thing Halima's husband has done. How do we communicate that? Because now you come in with the expectation that you've got of TV or Disneyland, and now you want to incorporate it. How can we communicate to our wives? This is making me feel uncomfortable. You're putting pressures on me. I feel like I'm not good enough husband.
So what I would say is sit her down, like gently, smile. Always have a smile on your face. Before you even start speaking, just tell her, oh, you look beautiful today, or something like that. You're gonna get her excited. And then you start speaking. I feel like, I feel a bit something to do with, I feel like I'm not being listened to. I'm not being heard.
You see, that's the thing. All the things we're talking about, like Salah, it has a methodology of how to be. Meaning, marriage itself is an act of worship. So conducting yourself, learning about before marriage, pre-marriage. Meaning, for example, how to conduct, for example, like a football team. There has to, although it's a team sport, it's a team manager sport, the individuals have to do their basis before work, before, after work, all that type of stuff. Meaning that two broken individuals are repeated this very, very poorly, because my generation is that they think, oh, I'm broken, I have this trauma, my man is going to fix me, or my woman is going to fix me. No way. You don't know. You don't know how things change. Yes, maybe, maybe not. Now, that's what I'm saying. Going back to the Salah point, look, as children, we taught how to pray Salah, sujood like this, like this. For example, now, taking that to a marriage. When you're, for example, we have this notion in the Muslim community in this 21st century. Everyone wants to be knowledge. Everyone wants to get that back. Everyone wants to get in terms of marriage, in terms of a husband or wife. But they don't want to do the work in terms of themselves inwards, meaning how to be a human, when you shouldn't speak, how you should speak, when to raise your voice. As a Muslim, yes, you can be angry. Yes, you should restrain your voice at times. Yes, your woman folk or the woman around you, you have to let them speak. That's one of the things. Emotional intelligence. Look, I'm going to be very blunt here. There's some men, see if their sisters get raped, some of them, look, they'll tell their sisters, you can get married tomorrow. That's the lack of emotional intelligence they have. Imagine that you have that much emotional intelligence that you're saying to your sister, get married the next day. Like, subhanAllah, you know, a woman who gets raped, you have to actualize this, that she might not get married ever again. That's a real possibility. It's a fact. Allah might have, tested him with that. And may Allah relieve all the women who go through this, because it's a reality. Meaning that, so I just want to end this, that working on yourself before marriage, knowing yourself is very important, because we all have something in here. When someone says something, that hit me, that part of my character is very important. Like, some of us might shy away from it, saying, I'm not going to work on that because of my ego, my mom or my dad, I'm going to stay like this. No, you're supposed to change. As a Muslim, you're supposed to change. This narrative of my mom, or my culture. Sorry. As a Muslim, the highest expectation is Allah and His Messenger, Rasul, meaning that obey Allah and His Messenger at the highest levels, constantly, consistently at your pace. Meaning, work yourself on a consistent basis. Rights and responsibilities. Yes, my man wants to be this, I want to be this. No, you need to understand that there's technicalities to it. And as humans, there's some things that you need to understand when you shouldn't speak and when you should speak.
Can I answer Mark's question? Yeah. So in regards to the humility, this is where I would say I agree with Ali before when he was saying, no, you tell your wife no. If she's asking for a Louis Vuitton bag and you've got to make money for the rent, or you've got to pay for certain things that are your responsibility, you say no. I am not getting that for you. Maybe, inshallah, if I save for it and whatever, as men, you guys have to also implement your own boundaries, and you shouldn't feel bad for doing that, because I know that men do feel bad sometimes. They feel like they need to really provide for their wife. They really need to do and overdo because of social media or whatever.
Definitely.
But no. You need to also know your boundaries. And if I had a son, I'll be telling him the same. My brother, I would tell him the same. Don't kill yourself to go and, get her a Louis Vuitton bag and you're not living within your means. She also needs to have that level and understanding. However, we do ask for romance. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. We are asking for romantic, nights or walks by the
Which
canal.
Which isn't always money.
Which isn't always money.
But
not all women are like that bad.
Yeah, no, it's true. But a lot of the times, women do demand materialistic things, right? And it's slowly killing men. It really is. The expectations for some men, it's killing them. The highest suicide rate is in men. Even Asian men, it's Asian men over
Can I just add
Asian
something?
women.
I think the reason why, first of all, men, when they attract women who are very, very materialistic, it could be two things. It could be something that is in their internal state. So they are also materialistic. They've chosen her for looks. He's also gone for exterior. She's gone for exterior and he's gone for exterior. That's number one. Secondly, it could be a test for him to test his boundaries. A man who's very weak in his kind of leadership, and doesn't know how to communicate, he's being challenged to change a weakness within him, to say, you know what, I understand where you're coming from, but I can't do so and so. And as a relationship, as a married couple, it is expected for there to be compromise and to understand why she wants it. Why do you want a bag? Why do you want to go on this holiday? Can we compromise? Is it something that we can put a plan and work towards? It's all about communication. 80% of success in relationship is due to communication.
I think there's more to it than that. Communication is key, but so is understanding the communication. People always talk to each other, but they still get frustrated and arguments.
It's the way they communicate.
Yeah.
And it's how stubborn they are. And
so all about the tone.
And it's about wanting to reach a resolution together, because it seems like there's a tug of war, me versus you.
Lack of kindness as well.
Exactly. And
One thing I remember. Sorry to interrupt everyone. No. One thing I remember listening to, I can't remember. He's an expert on marriages or something along those lines, and he said, that's it. I almost forgot. He said when couples, married couples, are talking to one another about something, instead of trying to help one another come to a solution, they're arguing one another's points instead of trying to understand what they're saying.
To reply, listening to learn.
But remember sorry, Aki. He's really taking it, bro. But yeah, the difference between saying understand and overstand. It's important to understand what the person is trying to say to you instead of arguing, or instead of taking it as an attack. It definitely comes as maturity that when people are talking to you and they're going, or for example, if you were saying something to me saying, "Oh, we can't get pizza today," instead of me saying to you, Oh, that's all right, Akhi. I'm gonna go, oh yeah, but why? Like last time we got, like, there's no need for that. Just be kind, like understand there may be an underlying reason as to why you tell me that, and move on. And
Tell
that
you
goes
why
to the.
a lot
Go on.
of these situations end up in an argument, because women will tell the man. I'm gonna get onto the men here a little bit, yeah. Women will tell her husband. A woman will tell her husband, "I want to go out." First time, okay, yeah, babe. All right, I'll take you out. Second time, babe, you know, I want to go out. You know, I'm been at home, blah blah blah. Okay, acknowledged. No action. Third time, I want to go out. Again, no acknowledgement, no action. So then it gets to that boiling point now,
Reliability as well.
where she's just like, bro, I want to go out. You're not taking me out. I've been telling you again and again and again. I'm bored. I want some excitement. And that's the thing. We're not wood. Women are not pieces of wood. We also have emotions and feelings, and we want excitement. And unfortunately, as much as we don't want to acknowledge that social media can sometimes take a toll, it can influence a wife. Women are looking at their surroundings, you know, and
standards.
No, not even for standard, just on a observatory type of vibe. She's seeing what's happening around her, and that can sometimes affect a woman's emotions and her mindset. You know, and she'll be like, well, I want to go out. You're not taking me out.
And
then that can affect the relationship.
I think
You know, and I think it's only fair. It's only fair.
You know, with men though, like, we're not mind readers at the end of the day, and a lot of women don't convey their feelings properly, accurately. Let me finish with this. Their tone. You mentioned tone, right? You mentioned tone, like tonality, the way you speak in yeah. So I think women sometimes lack that sort of gentle approach. They'll straight away go to, like, you know, having a go at the man, being aggressive, this and that. Obviously, the man's going to react to an aggressive man. Do you know what I mean? And it's hard though. A lot of men don't have the patience.
Well, you have to remember. If we're talking about,
wise and smart women be able to take that out of a man. It's a
Say
guarantee. A smart and wise woman will be able to get what she wants from her husband.
with her femininity.
I'm sure.
Because we are grown men. I know men who are 6'6". Believe me, when their wife are feminine, let me tell you something. I crumble. Like, you know, apple crumble. I crumble. When my wife is in a feminine energy, but man is crumbling. I don't care, gym, boxing, calisthenics, big biceps. I'm on the floor, bro. Yeah? Why? Because you know why? As a man, I'm dealing with masculine energy. I'm coming here, I've got masculine guys. I'm going to the gym. Everyone's walking about hard, etc. Yeah, I don't want to come home to another big bicep. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, so to me, like when... And I noticed this, like, for example, I can remember one time I had an argument with my wife, and I realized I was in the wrong. But just the fact that she wasn't like, the fact that she was just quiet, didn't say anything, bro, into that journey, I swear to God, bro, 20 minutes, I turned to her and said, I'm sorry. Because you know why? I looked at her and I said, I'm wrong. And I said to her, look, I'm sorry I apologize. You know why? Because she was in a feminine energy. She wasn't like, oh no, I go like a road man. I start talking. Yeah. I'm gonna do. You want to move masculine? I will talk to you masculine. So that disarmed me. But today's women, they're on a bit of a mad thing.
You know why that's a smart move?
Yeah.
Because when Maryam alayhi salam, when she came with Jesus back to her home, to her people,
yes,
Allah didn't tell her defend yourself and speak.
Exactly.
Be silent.
Yeah.
فَلَنْ أُكَلِّمَ الْيَوْمَ إِنْسِيًّا. She had to remain silent, and that is a feminine trait. Sometimes people view silence as a form of weakness.
Yes.
It is up to me to know, am I being silent because I'm scared and I'm weak, or am I using it as a weapon and a tool of power?
This is what the Western system has taught sisters, that no, you go girl, you do this, that, etc. All you're doing is putting yourself off us. And you need to understand that. And the thing is with this is this expectation. Like I have an ethos in life, which is I expect the least and I make dua for the best. Anytime there's expectations, get ready for disappointment. I'm telling all of you guys.
Yeah.
Anytime you have expectations, get ready for disappointment. In my head, I just said to myself, like, for example, be it marriage or whatever, my expectations are low. Why? Some people are like, no, bro, be ambitious, etc. But me being ambitious is a different story. I'm talking about the woman I'm marrying. Expecting the least, making dua for the best. In my head, I said, I'm okay if my wife doesn't need to cook every day. She can, if I want her to, she would. Yeah. Makes amazing dishes. I love it. But even if I said to myself, even if she cooks
2 or 3 days a week, argument's sake. And if she made me a simple sandwich, in my head, I registered it as I'm happy with that. Now, if I'm happy with a sandwich, what do you think I'm going to be doing when it's a bloody lasagna? Or it's a biryani? Or if it's a roast? Because my expectations is what? I'm okay with a sandwich. But when she goes that extra level, but imagine if I said, no, I want a 5-course meal. And she gives me a sandwich. How is it going to affect my psychology? I'm going to be like, what? Do you see what happens when you have high expectations? Now, the same thing happens to our sisters. They are easily influenced. They're on their period. They go through menopause. They are pregnant. There's so many factors in place, yeah? And not only that, you guys fall for what you hear. And when you have these friends who are putting this stuff in your mind and you're watching this false reality of these irresponsible social media couples, you are now unintentionally oppressing us because you're coming to us with expectations, yeah? And what are these expectations? Like he said, these expectations are not your simple like, I just want to go out. No man has a problem taking his wife out. Zero. You are not coming to us.
Some men
You
do,
are
I'm
talking
so
about
sorry.
exceptions to the rule.
No, it's not exceptions.
It is exceptions to the rule.
Some men,
I'm so sorry.
literally, if their wife doesn't
Taking them out.
encourage them, they're fine just being at home watching Netflix. Literally, some men will not say, okay, I'm going to take her out, blah, blah, blah. But my advice to men would be just pencil in a date once a month or once
not
every
hard.
other month.
That's not hard.
hard.
No, that
And I
guy's
think
tapped
that's
in the head.
minimum. I
No,
think
no,
that's
that guy's tapped in
minimum.
the head if he doesn't take his wife out once a month. That's
No,
I know what
I think
see that as
it's so important
anomalies.
for men to at least know, but it's sometimes you're saying that because alhamdulillah you have that mindset.
No, can we be,
but there
is
are
this,
some
is this
men.
a phenomenon? I'm trying to
Yes,
It is. My sister
there are
got
some
divorced
men who
because
don't do
My
that.
sister was in an abusive relationship.
not abusive relationship. Taking
was.
that's mad. I'm talking about taking her husband never took her out like once a month.
No, it wasn't like we had to save money. There's no such
Yeah,
thing as
Ali.
and
Yes.
some
Ali.
people are like that. They have that mindset. They even used to compare like, oh, like her husband used to say, oh, why does your sister spend her and husband go out and spend
No, that's a stingy man. The Prophet actually warned against it. There was a woman who came.
people like that.
No. But the thing is, this is a bad character because at the end of the day, he's a stingy man.
But we speak for everyone.
And we know from Islam, a woman can go to her husband's pocket
And steal
if
from
he's stingy. He doesn't give. She has a right to go and get money out because this is her right. So this kind of men. I don't know. Is this? Please tell me.
No, it
Are there no
is.
men like this?
Ali,
100%.
Ali, the thing is-
100%, Ali.
Really?
Yeah, Ali,
Yes.
Ali, can
There's
Use the mic. Use the mic if you're gonna say that we can't hear you.
So you guys forgot to mention that there's this problem where, you know, when brothers, like, let's say your husband goes out and does things for you, he'll remind you, like, in an argument, I've done this for you, I've done that for you.
Why though? This is
I get it.
Sister.
Okay. If you don't, I get it. If you
What
don't
a
feel,
woman known for? What a woman known for? And
No,
we have a
but
clear hadith.
I get it. If you don't feel appreciated,
No,
just
no,
tell
no,
her.
no.
Just
Why
tell her.
don't-
I don't feel appreciated. You know.
Sister Lucky, why do we feel unappreciated? We know, let's be honest, when
I
women
get
get
it, you get-
angry, when they get upset, when they're on their period, they say things they don't mean. But to us, we don't register that they don't mean. You are a stingy guy. I've never seen any good from you. And you're thinking, and the woman, do they say that or not? Am I lying? Please be honest. Do women
What I would add to that
women
is,
say things
what
like
I
that?
would what I would say is, let's say a woman's had an argument
Yeah.
with her man or a disagreement or something like that. Usually, and tell me if you guys experienced it, but
the sister
you
way,
be with your own sisters.
audio podcast.
So you know,
One second, stop. So yeah, for me, in a nutshell, I think like my ethos in life is basically expecting the least and making dua for the best. Because a lot of the times what happens is a lot of people go into marriages and many things with high expectations. And if you have high expectations, be ready for disappointment. So to me, I expect the least and I make dua for the best. So I'll say, oh Allah, for example, I'm happy with my wife making a sandwich. Totally happy. I'm okay with the sandwich. I'm just happy with that, yeah? If I have a good woman, I'm not going to complain about bloody sandwich, bro. It's good. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But I can make dua and be like, oh Allah, I would love a lasagna in my head. Do you get? I'm just giving an example. So to me, I'm happy with the sandwich. Now, if it's the other way around and I'm like, I expect the lasagna and I get a sandwich, I'm unhappy. I'm disappointed. So sometimes with sisters, you need to understand something. Allah has created you guys in a very unique way. If you think about it, why has Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Qur'an hasn't gone into details what you're going to get in Jannah? Have you ever wondered that? Because to us, it's very simple. Allah says, Hurrat Ain, and it gives a very brief, detailed description of how they're going to look. And we get excited and guess, I cannot wait to go Jannah. Very specific because we know what we want. Direct to the point. With you guys, when you have a discussion and you want to ask your friend what time we're meeting, you start talking about like the moon, and then you go to like the galaxy, and then you go to like a boat, and then you come to, oh, what time we're meeting, because your brains are wired like that, because you guys tend to talk more than we do. It's not a bad thing, that's how you're wired. So the thing is, when you guys have these false reality in your head, and you're watching social media couples, you're watching this couple, they're going on holiday, they're doing this, and the expectations are increasing and increasing. It makes us feel ingratitude when there is an argument, and we are made to feel, oh, you're like this, or I've never seen any good from you. You're always this. And as men, which you mentioned, Sister Parvina, is that, of course, we're going to now talk about the favors that we do, because the Qur'an ayah very clearly says, do not render your good deeds by reminding people. This ayah doesn't fit here, because we are outright being told that we are useless individuals. And as a man, your love language is love, romance, etc. To us is respect. You are outright disrespecting us by saying, look what he does, or comparing us to other husbands, or making us feel that we're not good enough. So do you see where we come from when we are made to feel like that, and your expectations are so high? Please, Anas, tell me why you disagree with me.
No, finish.
Okay, yeah. So in a nutshell, your expectations are so high, and sometimes I believe women can't pinpoint what they really want. Am I wrong to say that they do not know what they want? There's so many things. Please correct me. I'd love to be corrected. I feel as if, like, in your psychology, you genuinely do not know what you want. You can't put your finger on it.
in a man.
In a man, and sometimes in general.
So
He has 1.5 minutes. Your time stopped.
So firstly, like the point I wanted to make was that even in disagreements, you're supposed to be somewhat of respect, meaning you don't talk like a donkey, you don't talk with raised voices, as the Quran states. And the other thing is that during the Prophet's time, it's like he went a whole month without his wives. I don't know if you know this, meaning wives were asking the Prophet, which he couldn't provide, meaning Prophet chose himself. He had two choices: to live like a king or to choose like a poor life. Now, does this mean that our women folks shouldn't, yearn this materialism? To a certain extent, yes and no. To the extravagance of the persons, the husbands, or the men from the community not having, say if there's pocket type, are you to a woman of understanding, a woman of intellect, despite her feeling, just because we can't use our experiences or the biology of us, saying that you can't use an excuse, meaning we have to fight within us to say that despite this, I'm still gonna say this. Meaning, for example, if you know your rent is £1,000, do you really expect your husband to buy a £1,000 gold watch? You shouldn't be doing that. Meaning that you should always try to see both sides of the party. Meaning that, for example, see when the Prophet went away, that was he didn't just go away like that. There was some time again and again, with the Prophet's wives, they showed their side. And after it was revealed, look, you can either leave the Prophet, or you can choose the life of the hereafter with benefit in this.
I think it's أمتعكن
Yes.
وأسرحكن صراحا جميلا. I think that's the
Yeah, so it
verse.
says, "O Prophet, say to your wives, if you intend to have the pleasure of the worldly life and its charm, then come on and I shall give you some stuff and release you in a handsome fashion." So the Prophet's being told to them because they were obviously causing a bit of difficulty for the Prophet. But if you intend to gain the pleasure of Allah and His Messenger and the betterment of the hereafter, then Allah has prepared a great reward for those who are good in their deeds. O wives of the Prophet, whoever from among you will commit, this is going to the other issue. But here Allah is mentioning, which He said something very profound, is that this dunya and all its glamour, or the akhirah, if your husband cannot give you that. There are women that are losing their good husbands and the akhirah that he's going to help her achieve at the cost of the dunya is the key here.
And lastly, I wanted to say that there's some from a cultural standpoint or from whatever standpoint you are. Some men believe that, me doing the bare minimum, and the bare minimum means provide, protect, and that's it. No affection, no love, no mercy, no nothing. And they expect this. No. As a husband, you have to have everything. Just because you're tired from work, or just because you're this, or just because you're that, or I've had a fight, or I've had this. No. What you have to understand is rights and responsibilities. And as a man, you're supposed to be visionful for this life and for the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. On a daily basis, how am I supposed to act with the people around me? You just doing the bare minimum as thinking I'm a macho man, and that doesn't mean the term of a macho man, just because we can't keep on saying, blaming the West and this and that. As Muslims, we're the leaders, meaning not just leaders within our homes, but in the community as a worldwide, or non-Muslims and Muslims alike. That's very important. You can't just keep on blaming on the West. The West did this colonialism. I'm not saying that Just last words. I'm not saying colonialism and the other things didn't play a part. They still play a part. They have played a part. Even in Gen Z, my generation, they still play a part. Yeah, that's one.
I think brother Anas made a very, very good point. But going back to brother Ali, you kind of maybe I didn't understand your point, but you said that that when it's a man, he's saying, "Oh, I've done this and I've done this." It's not the same as when a woman does it. How is that different?
What do you mean?
When a woman says, "Oh, I did this for you and I did that," but when a man does it, it's not the same.
No, I never said that. I said, for example, if our wives, look, when we go and work, to us, we see that as a form of love language. We're saying we're going out there. We can do work so that we can die in the process. We're more prone to die because of anything, an altercation on the road. Do you get it? We men, we have lethal force. Like for example,
Women can die giving childbirth as well.
Sorry.
There's more risk of men dying.
No, it's irrelevant.
She can die like with.
But do you see what this goes down to? Now it goes for tit for tat. I never said a woman doesn't. We know, for example, if a woman dies giving birth, she's a martyr. The point I'm saying is we are more prone to die. It be in the workplace, be it in an altercation, be it protecting you guys. We're full-time bodyguards, by the way.
Yeah.
If a thief comes breaking the house, best believe my wife is going to say, "Listen, bounce, get out, please, go sort this." And guess what? If I die in the process, she could get married again. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So the
And
point
you
I'm
won't think
saying
twice. You won't think twice about doing that.
No, bro, it's in our blood. We love it, man. Dying for it's all day, every day. So what I'm saying is, in a nutshell, is that when we go and work, and our work is seen as you just have to. What do you mean? I just have to. I do it because I love you and I work for you. And when you come and tell us, "Oh, but you're stingy," or "You're like," and if he's not, I'm saying if he's not, when your words are a bit harsh and you say that, of course a man's going to remind you and say, "But I work for our family. I do this and that." He reminds because there's ingratitude that's coming from the wife.
Okay.
So he's reminding the favors of
with that mindset. This is the type of women you're speaking about have a specific mindset. Okay. Those specific type of women, they need to be dealt with in a very, very different way. And psychologists, a lot of therapists, they have a tactic.
What's that?
So basically,
we would like to know.
Sorry.
We would like to know what is that tactic.
So obviously, I'm not professional in that sense, but there's a specific tactic with women who have that kind of personality. You see,
but a lot of women have this.
It's a very common.
It's a common because the Prophet ﷺ said he went to the hellfire and he saw a majority of his inhabitants women, and they said, "Why? Is it because they're ungrateful, like doing kufr to Allah?" He said, "No, they are doing they're doing it to their husbands." So the Prophet ﷺ also gave a solution.
But if a man does it as well, it's the same on him. So if it is, he spoke about
who is more prone to do it. We're looking at what the Prophet ﷺ said. We know, for example, woman. Look, we have the power of talaq. Yeah. Okay. That is the reason, because Allah's created you guys in a way where you're emotional. Sometimes you see things you don't mean. Understandable. You guys initiate divorce more than we do. That's why Allah's given the talaq to us. And also Allah's kept us in check by giving us 3 options of talaq. And if you look at Imam Qurtubi's tafsir, he says the reason why it was limited to 3 is because the Quraysh men used to abuse their wives. What they would do is they'll say talaq. The woman would go and they'll say, "I'll take you back." And they will do this without a limit. So you're not allowing her to move on with her life.
So Allah
stipulated it to 3, meaning after the 3rd one, brother, that woman has full rights to go get married without you. So that talaq is actually there to protect you. So what I'm saying is, from the dynamics, there's certain things you are prone to do. One of the things is what? Being ungrateful to your husband. What did the Prophet ﷺ say? The husband will be good if they see one bad. What did they say? "I've seen no good in you." That is the crux of the matter
I just wanted to mention one last thing about when a woman doesn't, when she says, "Oh, I want this and I want that." I think there's nothing wrong with a man communicating what he wants from his wife and what a woman wants from her husband. At the end of the day, it goes back to negotiation. A man can tell his wife, "Oh, you know what? For example, I like you to do your nails, for example. Or I like you." It doesn't mean that, "Oh my God, why you like this? And why do you expect this from me? And why do you..." It's sometimes we like to see our husbands do specific things for us, but it doesn't mean that it's compulsory. It doesn't mean we're forcing them. It doesn't mean it's about negotiation at the end of the day, because there's harmony. جَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. It's a sakina, it's home. If there's that tug of war, then what's the point of the relationship anyway?
You know the problem with like negotiations and these sorts of discussions, right? Who's more prone to being like more emotional, the man or the woman? So what I'm saying is, when a man wants to communicate something to his wife, that knows it's going to be quite like, you know, a debatable topic, he's just going to not talk about it because he knows it's going to cause issues in the household. Do you know what I mean?
Just before we move on from that point, I just want to make a point of the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam when he went to go and visit his son, I believe it's Ishaq, and he knocked on his son's door, and the wife was just complaining about everything, complaining about the house, complaining about everything, and he left a message, and he said to the wife, when your husband gets home, tell him to change the gate of the door. Tell him to change the front. The gate of the door. So when his son came back, she gave him the message, which meant obviously change this woman. She's divorced her. So when Ibrahim alayhi salam came back, he found that Ishaq had got a different wife, and she was grateful. She was very grateful. And he said, please keep the door, you know, keep this gate of your home. Now, I think this is a good reminder for men. If your wife is severely ungrateful, change the gate of your door. What are we forcing this thing and killing ourselves?
Mashallah.
We have many examples in our deen of situations where you can leave a woman if she's just ungrateful and wants the world from you. Let her go and find Zachariah from down the road and see if she...
It gets more tricky when there's kids involved and there's, you know, culture.
I don't believe
in that.
It's
more tough to
I
get
don't
divorced
believe
from
in
kids?
that. I'm so sorry. I believe that if two parents are not happy, it's more detrimental to the children. Of course we can fight for our kids, and of course we can, you know, try and be patient and sabr. Yeah, I agree. But when there's a woman and she's actually above the type of woman Ali is trying to describe here, you leave that woman. But the women that we're talking about, the women that just want a date once in a while,
100%.
this is something completely different.
That's why I was shocked to be like, there are men that are doing this.
Some men, I know a lot of men, they're raised in the hood, they're raised in the areas, nobody has taught them romance. A lot of them don't know how to be a romantic husband, we know how to be soft with their wives.
We had an episode with Sister Naima B. Roberts about that. Basically, they told us how to be like the love language, romance, expressing your love. We had a whole episode.
A lot of men just think straightforward, and I get that.
Exactly.
You know,
you're right. Yeah.
But they need to understand that actually when you now get married, and this is why I say a lot of people should not be getting married until they have that sort of training.
Yes.
You need to have pre-marriage counseling. Yes. You need to be spoken to. You need to understand the basics. And this is why the Bitter Truth show is really good, because at least you guys can hear this. Before you get into marriage, you cannot just think you're getting into this marriage and, oh, this is going to be my wife and I'm going to chill. No, this is not that. You need to be romantic.
Very, very key. Like, and this is
you have to, otherwise it's going to die out.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. So I was going to make the point of, you know, where I was talking about, there's some men who will remind their wives of, oh, I did this for you. And then they'll go to the point of, oh, you wouldn't have this if it wasn't because of me. And they make them feel so low. And most of the time, these women don't work. And they don't have their own income coming in. And they're completely reliant on their husband. And he knows this. And he uses this as a leverage over her to say, look, you would have this if it wasn't because of me. But no, like she wouldn't have that if it wasn't because Allah gave you that provision to be able to provide for her, you know. Because I've seen a lot of like brothers say like say that you know everything, like I've given everything my wife has, I've given it to her. No, like Allah has given that to you. Allah has given you that ability to provide for your wife.
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
Because there's especially like in our community, there's a lot of women like, sorry, I was gonna say, especially like in our community, there's a lot of women like who will go to their husband.
These
like,
words are so dangerous. Well, I'm
like-
going to come to. And by the way, Sister Amira, you have so much amazing contributions. And don't worry about this
But
this
the Prophet
point.
Muhammad
I'll tell you
wouldn't
why.
have done that to his wives. Oh, I provided for
Said
you
what?
and I did this and I did that. He wouldn't have done that.
This,
Neither Umar ibn Khattab
yeah,
would have done
because
that.
they do that. They,
I'll tell
they
you guys-
literally use
If a
that as
man
leverage
tells
over the
his woman every time, you are here because of me. I made you.
Arrogant
That
is
is
that.
point blank financial abuse.
one second.
A lot of men
It
like
is
that
emotional abuse. It is abuse. You, as a husband, should never fix your lips to turn to your wife and say, "I've made you. You're clothed because of me." You are now abusing that power. That's it.
Yeah,
It's simple.
and that's what I was
As a
trying to get
woman,
to.
So now-
as a
so now-
woman, if you're suffering from this, I suggest you do have a divorce. And if you've got
Whoa,
kids
sister,
involved,
sister,
no,
sister,
hear me
sister,
out. because
Okay, finish
I'm
your
a-
sentence. Finish your
Listen,
sentence.
I'm the byproduct of that.
Okay,
I'm a
finish.
child from that, and I swear
speak.
it's so cruel to see two parents fighting and arguing all the time. I thought, like,
Yeah, what-
couldn't they separate already and then have like the kids would have it easier? Do you understand?
Okay.
It's not fair on the child. Forget.
Okay, this is the reason why I'll be very blunt and to the point. This is why men are leaders. What you guys said, a couple of, and by the way, look, may Allah bless you guys. Well, I appreciate what you're saying, etc.
Yeah.
We are here to talk about these matters. If I'm wrong, I'll put my hand up and say I'm wrong, and tell me if I'm wrong. We said some very dangerous stuff here, and this is irresponsible behavior, even if it came from me. To mention the word, oh, if this happens, divorce. This is such a dangerous
So
statement.
what I mean is not when you're not grateful
No, I know, sister. But
about the gate thing.
I know. But what I'm saying,
you gotta change
I know. But even when Sister Mira said, which I kind of agree with, like, if she's been ungrateful, even then, the word divorce, we need to be very careful. You know why? How many couples are watching this? And you know what they're going to do?
I understand
women will
that.
do this. They get something, for example, terminologies. They don't even know what it means.
Definition,
Narcissism.
yeah.
What do you mean by that? Financial abuse. What do you mean by that? You're controlling. What do you mean by that?
Yeah.
So what happens is we have people who apply it to themselves. So what they say is, okay, so we've said some stuff. There's a sister watching this who's had an arguing with her husband, and her husband, why she's had an argument with her husband is because she keeps going to her husband and comparing him to others, and the husband has to remind her and say, listen,
But
I
Ali,
don't- I-
we're not talking about that.
No,
She
okay,
never
good,
spoke
good.
about that.
Good,
She
good.
spoke about an extreme case
Good.
of men
Yes.
who spit back what they do into
Good,
their woman's
good.
face.
And we have a clear
I'm
ayah.
not saying that you should divorce,
Exactly.
yeah,
So this
because
is
of
why-
that.
good.
However, it is
emotional abuse.
It's
Good,
an
good.
emotional
No,
abuse.
no.
It is.
Listen,
Ali, I'm
listen.
Ali, you're scared of these words. We're
I'm-
not taking it out of context.
Yes.
You're being scared of the word.
Yes.
The word abuse, sometimes we can abuse our power. It doesn't mean it's this major thing. No. If you are spitting back what you do for your wife on a regular basis, I pay for this, I do this. And the same for women. I'm not saying it's not the same for women. I'm saying the same. That's why I use the example of the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. But if a man is doing this constantly in his wife's face, that is emotional abuse.
That is-
How is the woman meant to feel if he's always saying
She's
to
gonna
her,
eventually-
you
you're gonna feel
do,
like a burden.
I provide your
One
lifestyle, I get your food.
One second, guys.
This is your responsibility.
Guys, that's what I'm saying. Let's bring clarity to the matter so we understand what we're talking about. Is it emotional abuse when he says that?
If he's doing it, I believe by definition.
One second. Do we accept that?
Yeah.
I accept that as well. Is it emotional abuse when she goes to her husband and says, this person does that? You are stingy. You don't do nothing.
What if
Yes.
she's
You are.
not doing that?
Is
though?
that emotional abuse?
If she's
One
saying it
second.
over and
Verbal
over
abuse.
again.
One second. If she is making him feel like crap
Yeah,
because of her
yeah.
expectations of Instagram,
Yeah,
is
it
that
is.
emotional abuse?
Yeah, yeah, that is.
Good. Who
It's
did
verbal and emotional
okay,
abuse.
who did the emotional abuse start from? If it started from the woman's side, where remember we talked about what the woman want. If she's had this Instagram, she's watching all these expectations, then taking it on her husband who's working hard but can't afford the stuff that she wants, and then he's been told now, you don't do this, you don't do that. Where is the emotional abuse stem
But
from?
now you've created a scenario.
Good. So
You've
I'm talking
created a relationship
good.
scenario
You know
of
why?
this person
You
and
know
that
why? You know why,
person.
Stamira? Because we're talking genuinely. Do you know how many people are going to take that genuinely and apply it to this specific household? And no, that's our problem. That's our problem. That's our problem, sister. Let me tell you why. Let me just finish. Let me just.
In the Quran, Allah Himself,
me
He
just finish.
says that the Kitab itself يضل به كثيرا ويهدي به كثيرا وما يضل به إلا الفاسقين, which means that even the Quran itself can misguide people and it can guide people, but it depends on the person if he's a fasiq. So what we need to go back to is we need to not practice and not practice the traits of a fasiq, which is not applying Allah's rules. So anyone can understand anything. There are millions of people who watch this, and some of them will take the good. There's a verse in the Qur'an that says, وَبَشِّرْ عِبَادِي الَّذِينَ يَسْتَمِعُونَ الْقَوْلَ فَيَتَّبِعُونَ أَحْسَنَهُ. I'm not going to say that everything we said in the show is 100% right, but anyone who's watching this, and I'm saying it from the depths of my heart and from someone who's been searching for so many years, do your research. Not everything we say on this show is 100%. Just because some people have authority, just because someone is a mentor, just because someone's a coach, it doesn't mean that their word is gospel. Do your research. Why? Because Allah will guide you. That is fundamental. And, you know, do your research on what financial abuse means, what narcissist means, and don't apply it and say, oh, you know what, just because, you know, watch some, because by the way, there's a research that says that we all can act narcissistically, like we can. So, and just because for example, just because someone looks in the mirror, like one of the traits is that a narcissist looks in the mirror a lot. Just because someone has this little trait, isn't it? He's a narcissist. You cannot put a judgment, because Allah says, "Inul hukmu illa lillah." Allah alone is, you know, is going to do that, has the authority to have that judgment. A man today can commit zina, tomorrow he's good to his parents, the day after he reads Qur'an, the day after he gives sadaqah, the day after he beats a man up, and then the day after he's good to his wife, and the day after he says sorry. How are you going to judge that person? You're not going to be able to do that.
No, I understand that. But the point here is it still stands. The thing is, we have a responsibility here as people are watching this, that we clarify certain things. Because at the end of the day, the Prophet ﷺ was walking with his wife, and there were two companions that saw him. He went to them. This is the Messenger of Allah. He went to them and said, "My this is my wife." He said, "Oh, Messenger of Allah, of course we didn't doubt anyway." He said, "Shaitan runs through the veins of Adam." So the point is here, what we're seeing is somebody can easily watch this, take this argument that we're saying, and apply it to their marriage and say, "See, they're talking." Whoa, rewind. We're talking about. That's why I was like, let's break it down, because our words have consequences. Very, very important. That's why I'm so stuck on this, to get this out of the way, because I know this can break marriages, and I know this show is the opposite. So if I can just make this point without being cut, please. Yeah. The point is this, is that when it comes to these issues, we need to clarify, because I said, if the wife is the one who is comparing him and making him feel like crap, by the way, yeah. And by the way, this is a very big phenomenon happening in the community. A lot of Muslim women are oppressing their wives, their husbands, in a very, very bad way. So now, because we have this pandemic, yeah, so for example, if he was living at a time where men were the culprits of domestic abuse, yeah, then it would be unjust for me to brush it aside. I'll be like, no, this is the focal point, because it's happening a lot. So now, in this era, when we're talking about this, I have to break it down and say, if a woman is saying that to her husband, has she initiated the abuse?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Now, if the husband then comes and says, well, but do I not buy you clothes? Look at the tone. Not, hey, I buy you clothes, I own you. No.
Of course,
but do I not buy you clothes? But do I not work hard for our family? I'm saving up for a holiday.
Yeah.
Does that apply to that man?
No, it doesn't.
Thank you.
No, it doesn't.
If it's a simple reminder, then that's fine.
No,
But if it's a
definition.
constant
Context
thing,
is
and
important.
then
Just
he
trying to
Clarify, yeah.
But I was talking about if the man is constantly, like, she comes to him and she asks, hey, can
Now he's the aggressor.
Yeah, that's
Do you
what
see
I'm
it?
talking
Now,
about.
in this instance, he's the aggressor, because now he's not even doing the basic. Bro, she wants to take. It's crazy to me that a man doesn't take his wife out. I'll be honest, I'm gobsmacked. I'm finding it very hard to believe
It could even be
that
like
men
she
like
needs
this
some
exist.
money, like, let's say if
What do you mean she needs some money? He has to protect and provide for her. I'm being honest.
that's what I'm saying, like, that's what I'm saying, like, it's especially like within our community, like if a wife who's not working goes to her husband and says, hey, like, I need some new clothes,
Yeah.
can you give me some money? Like he'll be like, no, like you
No.
No, I disagree with that.
no, but
They
I've
wouldn't say
seen,
no.
I've
They'd
seen that
question
happen.
it. They'd question it, and they'd do it in a disgruntled way. He'd be like, if you need like 50 quid for like clothes or something, the man will be like, oh, but why do you need that? Well, that's generally how it is.
Let's say it's generally.
I guess
that's like a
I'd say
mind.
so.
I guess what I'm saying is very subjective, because I've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it too.
I've
I'd say
seen that.
the man is never. I wouldn't say never, but the man often isn't willing to just give 100 quid here and there for his missus to get clothes. He'll question it quite a bit.
Even 100, sometimes even 20. Like,
He'll question it.
no,
Nah, bro, this man is one second, bro.
Sorry.
I've seen that.
I'm so sorry. Yeah. Look, if there, like, again, we have to put it into context, and there has to be a balance. If a man says no, it's not just because he's saying no. If he's saying, I can't give you 100 quid just to go and waste it on clothes, you have to understand as a woman as well.
No, but
This is your household, it's your economy, yeah.
The point.
And his money's your money, yeah. So if he's
that
unable,
doesn't stand. That his money is her money is actually out of context.
if he's unable to give,
That's a different story. What the sister was saying is when the man has the facilities, the finances, and then he says, not even refuse him. When he says like, oh, what do you need it for? Like, you don't need this. Even if he still gives it, the way he speaks, his tone, like he needs to explain properly.
yes.
But I've seen that very common.
yeah,
It's very common.
that is true.
During the dating phase or whatever, you know, when you're like thinking, is this person to marry? He'll be so willing to give money, let's go to fancy places. When they're actually married, he's not willing to give the finances to facilitate that.
I think I've
All I
seen
wa-
that in the
Yeah,
generation though.
That's unbelievable to me,
It's
man.
honest.
You know what
and that's
I'm
your right,
talking
by the
about?
way.
You know
right?
what I'm talking about? I think I've seen that more in the older generation because like
Yeah, that's terrible. Like,
our
to
mothers
me,
don't work and
What? Sorry, it was 1.5
Yeah, go
minutes starting
Yeah, I
now.
don't need 1.5 minutes. But
Well,
all I wanted to say, this is from when we talk about co-parenting. I've been sitting there for so long. I just wanted to mention the difference I think some parents have, and I've witnessed this firsthand personally. So I think I know what I'm talking about. Certain parents who don't want to break up for their children's sake do more harm to their children, because not only do you see the fighting side of what goes on, whether it be physical or verbal, when they finally break up and they leave each other, they're not co-parenting. They want, I'm having a child today. No, you're not. Yeah, you're doing this. No, you're not. Like, oh, are you taking him swimming? Like, no, not today. Oh, and then you got arguments. Whereas if you are mature about it, yeah, and you don't stay with each other for the sake of the kids, when in reality, for the sake of the kids, actually makes the life for the kids more difficult in the future, you should actually sit down with one another and think about what is best for yourself and for the other person. Because not enough do people actually think about themselves when in a relationship, when they have kids. If you look after yourself and you look after your wife and you look after that relationship, you will be able to be stronger for your children. So if, say, you do end up breaking, or you do end up losing feelings for your wife or your husband, and say you need to sit down with one another and actually go through the reasons why, and you can't fix it, then split up, agree to co-parent, and do things properly. Because otherwise, you are going to make your children's life hell. I absolutely
can we-
promise you.
Good. Can we have some
And that's
solutions
all.
now?
That's all I wanted to say.
Barakallahu, may Allah bless you. We've got about 10-15 minutes on this episode. Can we just have some solutions now? What advice would you give to young sisters who are watching this, who may have high expectations of what they want in a man? What would you say? Like, for example, should we start with the brothers? Maybe brothers giving advice to sisters because we're men in it. What would you say to young sisters who are looking to get married and they have this high expectations as men to our sisters, you know, and then our sisters to our brothers, you know, that what women look for, so we can educate ourselves, inshallah. So
Yeah.
what would you say to imagine a young sister who's looking to get married?
I'd say if you've got expectations which are high, that's completely normal. You can have it if you want, but then you have to bring something to the table as well.
Like what?
I don't like using this terminology. Like they say, high value man, high value woman. If you're looking for a high value man, you yourself have to be a high value woman. If your man's gonna provide for you like financial security, everything, yeah, you need to be able to clean, cook, look after the kids. You still got your rights there Islamically, but you have to put your effort into. And I've seen it. Maybe you guys are different, but very common for me. Women aren't prepared to like look after the household, look after the children. A lot of them just want to go out, do this and that, go out for food, Instagram, all of that. That's just my personal experience. So if you're looking for a high value man, are you yourself a high value woman? Yes, that's all.
Yeah, so firstly, I wanted to say, in terms of what Sister Amira said, in terms of the hujjah, in terms of what the Prophet Abraham said to his sons, and similarly, Umar ibn Khattab, I think he said the same thing to his son as well. You know, take my opinion, divorce your wife. These are case-by-case situations where it was granted only them, because what our parents do is like they have that thing within us saying, you know, the authority. So it's a bit, you have to be careful when you say this stuff, because it's like, it's a case-by-case situation. Secondly, I would like to say is that a lot of people, a lot of youngsters, my generation, they don't know themselves. Okay, they don't know themselves. Meaning they don't know what they really want or what they want, or they're filtered by these external factors where actually it clogs their mental faculties, maybe wanting more or maybe wanting less. And also, I wanted to say was that, look, in terms of the deen, there was a man who came to Umar al-Khattab and to all the people, was I have this notion, yeah, where people want this bandwagon. Umar Khattab was this strong, he didn't take any heat. No. So because there's some people, my generation specifically, they said, I want to be this macho man. But there was a man who went to Umar Khattab, he knocked at his door, it was like, he could hear some voices. What happened was that the man went back. And then Umar ibn Khattab, he opened the door back again. He's like, brother, why did you knock on my door? And then Umar ibn Khattab was like, he said, what did you want? And I was like, I came to your door because my wife was giving me slack. My wife was saying this, I was complaining. Umar ibn Khattab, you know, he used to carry a stick in the marketplace just to make sure people would stay in line. He used to be in the mosque, and the people used to complain, saying that, you know, Allah, I'll put all my tawakkul on Allah, and Allah will bless me with wealth. He used to be the man who carried sticks. When he was at home, he said, you know, my wife, she complains. I'm not going to leave her just because she starts complaining or this or that. So it's very important knowing yourself what you can handle and what you cannot handle before marriage. Don't think, because it's a disgusting notion that our deen is just this feel-good factor of like my morning routine. No, it's not a morning routine. It's not a way of life. It's the way of life. Look, the way of life. Similarly, like other religions saying, oh no, but why this? No, it's the way of life. Because what it is that, especially my generation and the generations, you could say millennials, they feel that because of the movies, it clogs their brain, saying that they don't think in a year's time, 3 years' time, 5 years' time, and they don't plan out their life expecting Jannah. Everything you do in life has to be some sort of route to Jannah. And if you have anything clogging that, you take it away, reassess your situation, no matter in the deen, your money, your fame, no matter how you want to get to Jannah, you need to actualize it, even your marriage, meaning that marriage is a major thing. You can either enter hell or heaven. That's what I'm saying.
Michael, and then we're going to go to your sisters.
I've gone blank.
Happens, don't worry. I've got
It's okay. It's okay. I think of something on the spot. For the sisters that want to get married to a man and they have high standards, we spoke about this on a previous episode. It's okay to have high standards. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. And for the man that has the means to provide that, that's even better. I think humbleness is a big thing for me, and I think we've already repeated this like 2 or 3 times. If you can maintain humbleness, you will be able to, like, I don't know whether this is a flex or not, probably it is, but you'll be able to attract a lot of men towards you if you are humble, whether they're rich or not. Humbleness says a lot about your personality. So that's what I have to say.
Okay, and sisters, what advice would you give to young men watching this? You know,
To young women?
Huh?
Do you say young women?
Young men, or you can speak to your closest. It's up to you. Like, you know, if you want to.
What I would say is
yes,
to the women, before you even think about like finding a man and what you want in a man, is know your rights in Islam. Know your rights in Islam, and you know, find out who you are. You need to know who you, like the brother was saying, you need to know who you are, what you want from life, what your purpose is in life. Build your connection with Allah before you even think about what I want in man, and automatically the right man will come into your life. You won't even like have to work too hard, like I want this, I want that. Work on yourself. That's all I will say.
Okay. Sister Karina.
Well, I was going to say, by the way, but to add to that, I would say men need to know their rights and women need to know their rights in a marriage, say a couple, and you both have to make sure you talk about it. You put everything to the table. What will I not tolerate? What will I tolerate? Both sides. It's like a mutual thing, and compatibility is also like a massive thing. Like you hear, like you've got someone who's got deen, but you don't like doing anything together, like going out for a walk. Oh no, I don't like walks. I wouldn't get tired. Do you get what I mean? You need compatibility as well as, you know, your rights, man knowing your rights, putting all your cards on the table before you realize it's the one.
Thank you, now that's inshallah. So yes, what advice would you give? When it comes to sisters having high expectations in a man?
It depends. If it's materialistic expectation, that is something that is a dunya progress, and that can be done over time, in its time. But that shouldn't be the priority. I think the priority should be the values, like I mentioned in the beginning of the episode, which is core values. And I know a lot of brothers said, oh, you know what, women say that they want these things, but realistically they don't. And yeah, but those are the fundamentals. But are men actually practicing these things? Are women actually practicing these things for them to attract that kind of man. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "At-tayyibuna lit-tayyibat," which means if you're a tayyib, you will attract a tayyib. If you're a khabith, you're gonna get a khabith. It's rocket science. So
Well,
if you want someone who's gonna be your person on this journey of the dunya, you have to embody the character that you want the person, like the man that you want to be with. It is what it is. 100%. And the man as well, he can't say, you know, I want this, I want that, and he's not that person that he wants, that woman. Also another thing is that before you get married, is that you have to know, you and your partner or the person you're going to get married, what is our purpose in life together? Like, what are we walking towards? How are we going to benefit the ummah? What is our message? And when you have a shared goal, you are able to walk, like to drive together and sail together on that journey. It becomes much more fun. It becomes much more exciting. We even get excited for the challenges that come our way. Like now, when me and my husband, we get challenges on the way, and it's like hard, and sometimes it's painful, and sometimes it is sleepless nights, and sometimes it is days of crying. But there's so much beauty and there's so much essence of rahmah and mawadda, and keeping that respect. I think it's a balance, you know. And yeah, so I just think that it's about the values. It's about the values, practicing them. Not saying, oh yeah, I want a man who's patient, I want this and this and this, and then you're not even doing anything about your anger issues. You're not taking courses about how to communicate. By the way, I was the worst communicator in the world. I was the worst. And I lost a lot of relationships and a lot of friendships because of my communication, because I wasn't able to be open, because I wasn't able to express myself. But guess what? I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let that stop me. I took courses. I listened to so many different people. I listened to people in the West. I listened to mashayikh, and it has grounded me. And it's actually, in fact, surprisingly enough, that I wasn't going to come today to the show because my husband had kind of precautions about it. But I made it, and I convinced him, and he came with me, accompanied me with so much love, and he supported me. So a wise woman can actually get what she wants from her man in the right way and in the most smart way, because it is possible. I think shaitan just tries to come and say, oh, you know, it's you can't do that, and this and this and this. Be aware that shaitan is in between, whether shayateen al-ins, which is the humans who try to separate, listening to false information, or if he does this, and drawing conclusions. I think gaining a very clear understanding and negotiating. And when we have a problem, it's me and you in this contract. It's not my mom, it's not my dad, it's not my friend who went on a holiday. It's not that. And there's nothing wrong with wanting specific things. Oh, babe, I want a holiday, I want this. But then there's compromise, there's ground rules, there's ways of doing it, you know. So I think that's it. If anything comes up, then. But
Sister Halima and then Sister Amira, inshallah.
Yeah, so I mentioned the boat before, and I would love to have a boat, and I want that for myself. I don't want that from my man. So what I'm trying to say is you said before about being high value yourself to have a high value man. Like, I want to have a boat. I want a man that's loving. I want a man that's a leader. I want a man that's God-fearing. I want these. I would expect him to be on like a nice, like the same level. He'd have like a fast Mustang or something parked up. You know, I'd want him to like synergy with me, if you get what I'm saying.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. Wallahi, I'll be honest with you, and you never know, sister. We might, inshallah, find you wallahi, be honest. You know, the reason why, I'll be honest, I find it like very, subhanAllah, I don't know what the word to use, but it's like cute in the sense where, like, mashallah, that's your dream. You want somebody who has a boat.
Dreams are very good.
Yeah,
Dreams are very good.
If there's a brother out there who likes sailing, catching fishes, inshallah, yes, no problem. Contact the sister's father, inshallah, and yes, that's inshallah. You might even do a nikah on a boat.
Yeah, maybe.
Wallahi, you can rent it. Yeah, no problem.
Maybe on the beach.
Yeah, wallahi. Yeah, wallahi. And if you do, call us to the boat, inshallah. Yeah.
My point is, why I want a boat is because I've healed. I had my problems. And I realized, you know what? I love boats. I love the sea. I love the water. Honestly, I've healed myself. I've had to look into that closet, find the demons,
maybe that's where you
them.
find peace.
I
But some
want my man to have the same thing.
Yeah, no, look, sister, the thing is with this, because the thing is, like, some people, like, I'll be honest with you, for some people, it's being alone in a forest. Like, so some people, it's different people. No, I'm being honest. People have, like, some people, they find it, like, funny because it's unheard, like, because you're fixated on the boat, but to you, that means a lot. And for some people, it can be like, I don't know, I want to go to, I just want to be in the car. Or I just want to, it's for different people, it means different things. It has significance for you. And there is absolutely nothing wrong.
Because it brings you peace as
exactly,
well.
bro. Being in the ocean,
Noah's
come on, bro. Like, it's growing on me. I might take me and my wife and go on a boat. No, wallah, it might be.
All the animals, the birds.
Yeah, exactly. There you go, may Allah bless you with a husband, inshallah. Yes. Inshallah. Unless you need, bro. How many sisters?
Wake up for the
Ferrari,
Hajj
this,
for
that
it.
boat, bro.
Sis,
There you go.
I want to go.
Wake up
But yeah,
for the
my
Hajj
point
for
is the
honestly.
healing thing.
Yeah.
I've healed. So if you're looking for someone, you have to find them on the same level as you. They have to have healed themselves. And to the guys out there, you need to do the healing. To the girls out there, you need to do the healing. Don't expect like
someone
a
else to.
Gucci bag. A Gucci bag is not going to heal that.
Exactly.
Nice shoes are not going to heal that.
Never. Exactly. May
Do
Allah
you
bless you.
understand?
Yes, sister. May Allah bless you. Inshallah. Sister Miriam, we're going to wrap up, inshallah.
So yeah, I was gonna say a lot of things, but so much has been said. Yeah, the boat is definitely in my head, so I'm gonna be on a yacht in Dubai. I'm joking, but so for me, I would definitely say for the men out there, if you are in a marriage and your wife is continually asking you for dates or whatever, just pencil it in, make time, because what it is for women is when you aren't given that action, it translates to us as you do not value us in that way, or you do not value us enough to make that time for what we believe is important for the relationship. So it's very important to take time for what you have, like you said, a contract. You've made that contract of life, of marriage. So you need to work on that, both of you together. You know, marriage is something that we have to work on, nourish, water, you know, so it can grow and become very beautiful. And I'm not saying it's this fairy tale thing. Of course, there's ups and downs. And I'm not telling women out here to divorce their husbands because he won't buy you a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or you know, these material things. No, this is not what we're saying. Yeah, I just wanted to be clear on that, because I'm not an advocate of, you know, I believe that when you get married, anything good comes with trials and tribulations, and when Allah loves you, he tests you. So if you're in a marriage and it's testing and there's trials, there's challenges, sabr, you have to be patient in these situations. However, there are the extremes that were said here of women who are ungrateful and overly, you know, demanding of things, not even thinking for a second of how this has an effect on her husband, or the man vice versa, of how it's not having effect, how this is affecting his wife. However, we just have to be fair and balanced, you know. And honestly, moms, dads out there, before you send your beautiful children out into marriage, please train them, speak to them about these things, you know, take them to Bangladesh, Pakistan, Rwanda, wherever, to teach them humility, so they can really see what this dunya is about. And it's not just cars, fashion, glam. Take them to the cemetery if they have to, as a reminder to bring them back down to earth. Yeah, because it's not all about the glitz and glam, and not everything that glitters is gold. Okay, so just it's an illusion. It's all part of that. But yeah, working on yourself is very important, taking accountability, understanding one another, and doing that work to have this solid foundation. And inshallah, marriages will keep in one tap.
I was just say one thing.
I need to wrap up, guys.
I was gonna say a strong family unit means a strong ummah.
Exactly, it's true. And guys, in a nutshell, you heard from the sisters what they want in a man. And we have talked about the extremes, making sure that balance, we don't go overboard, because otherwise you could hit a wall and realize that all those standards are going to drop at one point when you realize, your age is getting older, etc. So yeah, in a nutshell, you've heard of it, inshallah. Yeah, it's just from us, like I said, that Allah in the Quran tells the Prophet's wives, if you want the dunya, you can have the dunya. But the akhirah is better. Inshallah, that we work and we're Jannah driven, inshallah. When we're married, we think about Jannah. If we do that, our lives will be better and different, inshallah. Till next time. And also, after this episode, or maybe the episode might come before, is we've got a whole episode of how the sisters were basically teaching us how to be with our wives, love languages. Literally, it was such a good episode. I recommend all the brothers to watch how to express your love to your wives when you come home. We talked about it. It was so good. Wallahi, I learned so much from it. So watch that episode. So as men, we educate ourselves to know how to communicate to our wives and understand their love languages as well, which is very fundamental because they're emotional beings. They fall for what they hear. Just tell them beautiful. Like, wallahi, be honest. Like I've said this in the other episode. And actually, like, I'll be honest. Say that, like, when in the morning, everyone looks terrible in the morning, yeah, okay, but to me, like, I'll be honest, when my wife walks in the door, I'll just be like, yo, look at that painting, yeah, and look, even, and me, alhamdulillah, I know, like, to me, she is in my eyes, but even for some brothers, if you don't deem your wife to be a painter, whatever you guys want to call it in today's day, say it's, even if that's what the process allowed white lies, it makes them feel good. You lose nothing, bruv. You lose nothing. But anyways, that's for the next other episode. Till next time for the bitter truth. It is, but it's a beautiful lie. Till next time, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
The Prophet ﷺ said, whoever builds a masjid for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will build for him a similar house in Jannah. On that day where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that our books will be given and every little atom weight of good deed you've done will be there. And imagine you see a mountain and you're like, what a lucky person. Which righteous person? And Allah says, this is for you. For me? Yes. What did I do? You allowed people to pray. You built a masjid. I never had the money to build a masjid, oh Allah. You helped. You gave towards it and Allah gives you the reward of as if you've built it. Donate now, guys, and do not delay. And share the video for extra rewards.